Hello everyone, my name is Mini Sethi. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about Coase theorem. This theorem is given by British economist Ronald Coase. And Ronald Coase was Nobel Prize winning economist. And this theorem mainly provides solution of negative externalities. Coase theorem mainly provides solution of negative externalities. What do you mean by negative externalities? Negative externality means when your activity generate loss to unrelated third party, or simply we can say that when your activity generate loss to someone else, it will be called negative externalities. For example, production of textile generate so much environment pollution and create harmful effect on the health of people of surrounding area. So here you can see production activity generating loss for the people who are living nearby. So this will be called negative externalities. And Coase theorem provides solution of negative externalities. But how Coase theorem provides solution of negative externalities? According to this theorem, if property rights are properly defined, then private sector can easily bargain without any intervention of government. According to this theorem, if property rights are properly defined, then private sector can easily bargain without any intervention of government. Means if you exactly know who has property right, then you can easily bargain with other party without any intervention of government. Now we will see assumptions. Property right can be clearly defined. There is no transaction cost, that means there is no extra cost of bargaining. Loss of negative externalities we can easily measure in terms of money, and there is no government intervention. Now with the help of one example, we will clearly understand this theorem. Here we assume two individuals, Mohan and Sohan. Mohan is running a factory and dumping its all wastage in this river. It is negatively affecting Sohan because Sohan is fishing in the same river. So Mohan activities are generating loss for Sohan. So it will be called negative externalities. And Coase theorem provides solution of negative externalities. According to Coase theorem, if property rights are properly defined, then private sector can easily bargain with each other and can solve problem of negative externalities. Suppose Mohan has property right, or we can say that only Mohan has permission to use this river. In such a case, Sohan will compensate Mohan, or we can say that in such a case, Sohan will pay some amount of money to Mohan and will request him, please reduce your production and I will compensate your loss by paying you some amount of money. If production will reduce, then obviously wastage in river will also reduce. On the other hand, if Sohan has only property right to use this river, in such a case, Mohan will compensate Sohan, means Mohan will pay some amount of money to Sohan and will compensate his loss. Now we understand this theorem with the help of one diagram. In this diagram, on x-axis we have output and y-axis we have cost and benefit. This MB curve shows a marginal benefit from additional unit of goods and services. And this MB curve shows a marginal damage. Marginal damage means the loss of someone because of negative externalities. And this PMC shows private marginal cost. If private firm producing something, then obviously it has cost. It will be called private marginal cost. SMC shows social marginal cost of society because of environment pollution, or we can say that cost of society because of negative externalities. We will continue with our previous example. We have two individuals, Mohan and Sohan. Mohan is running a factory and dumping its all wastage in river, and it is negatively affecting Sohan because Sohan is fishing in the same river. And here we assume only Mohan has property right. In such a case, Sohan will compensate to Mohan. Initial equilibrium point is E. At this equilibrium point, Mohan is producing OQ amount of output. Now, Sohan will request to Mohan, please reduce your output from OQ to OQ1 and I will compensate your loss. When Mohan will reduce his output from OQ to OQ1, he will bear loss equal to ABE. Please listen carefully. When Mohan will reduce his output from OQ to OQ1, he will bear loss equal to ABE. This part will be called loss of Mohan when Mohan will reduce his output from OQ to OQ1. Now we will see gain of Sohan when Mohan will reduce his output. Earlier, when Mohan was producing OQ amount of output, loss of Sohan was this area. This area was called loss of Sohan when Mohan was producing OQ amount of output. Because now Mohan has reduced his output from OQ to OQ1, now this area will be called loss of Sohan. And remaining this part will be called gain of Sohan because Mohan has reduced his production. The Q1, this part will be called gain of Sohan because now Mohan has reduced his production. So, Q1 is more than ABE. That means the gain of Sohan is more than the loss of Mohan. When Mohan will reduce output, in such a case bargaining is possible because gain of Sohan is more than the loss of Mohan. So Sohan can easily pay some amount of money to Mohan. But now question is that how they will do bargaining. And Mohan will say to Sohan, I will agree to reduce my output from OQ to OQ1, but you will pay me more than ABE because ABE loss I am already getting. If same you will pay, then what will be my benefit? So I will agree to reduce output if you will pay me more than AB. Similar, Sohan will ready to pay less than CDQQ1 because this gain actually he is getting. If all pay to Mohan, then what is the gain of Sohan? So Sohan will agree to pay less than CDQ1 and Mohan will agree to receive more than ABC. So we can say the bargaining will lies between CDQ1 and ABC. Suppose ABC is equal to 10 and CDQ1 is equal to 15. Loss of Mohan is 10 and gain of Sohan is 15. So bargaining will lies between 10 or 15. Bargaining can be 11, 12, 13 or 14 rupees. Now we will see criticism of this theory. Property rights are not always defined as required in Coase theorem and the transaction costs are not zero. This theory assumes transaction costs are zero, bargaining costs are zero, but these costs are not zero. That's why this theory is inappropriate in real life. Government intervention is essential. According to this theory, there is no government intervention, but there is government intervention. And this theory neglect the cost imposed on future generation. And this theory talk about unequal status. According to this theory, businessman will do bargaining with the fisherman. But how can it possible? Businessman can easily dominate him. So this is all about Coase theorem. I think you got it and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye. Take care.